Hello, my name is Father David from Tagaytay, Philippines. I'm the director of the Department of Charity and Social Services for the Philippines and Vietnam, and I am happy to share with you what has been happening during the pandemic and what social programs have we implemented during this long time that has affected the whole world. You know, in this year, 2020, here in the Philippines, especially in our area where our headquarters is for the Department of Charity, uh, we started out with the big explosion of the Taal volcano. And also in other parts of the Philippines during the beginning of the year, there were earthquakes and other volcanic eruptions which displaced hundreds of thousands of people and caused us to have to go into action in supplying evacuation centers and those that have been displaced and carrying water and personal supplies and just a whole myriad of things that happened. So right after the beginning of the year and as the people were able to start going back to their homes, what happened was of course we all know, a worldwide pandemic. So 2020 continued with this pandemic, which especially affected the very poor here in the Philippines. And so the programs that we have implemented in order to try to help each location, each parish. Of course, the main program that we've had to organize has been food distribution. Sometimes the government has a food distribution program, but many gaps, especially the poor, the squatters, those informal settlers, sometimes they're called, are not able to uh, be part of any government program. And there's hundreds of thousands of them in every city, in every town, lining every back area along rivers and along side hills where they build their cardboard shacks with tin roofs, hopefully tin and canvas. And so the main program, because of no work being able to be performed, so no work means no income. And most of the squatters and the poor that we minister to, their main job is collecting aluminum cans and cardboard and reselling it so that they try to have something to eat for dinner that night. And here, when the whole economy and the world situation comes to a grinding halt, uh, after a short time, things become desperate, especially in the area of hunger and food. And so food distribution in the Philippines, we were able to do probably in about 7 or more places, which we could give you details about, but just to conceptually think where these locations are, mostly the parishes are in the upper part of the Philippines, which is called the island of Luzon, and then in the lower, the very southern part of the Philippines, which is called Mindanao. So we have been able to do these programs in Manila, in the area where we are just below Manila, 56 kilometers south of Manila, to the squatters. In our area is called Las Brisas, which is very close to our parish. Of course, down in Mindanao and Davao City region, in General Santos region, and Surigao, even we have gone outside of our own diocese to try to help those less fortunate in the Indonesia area, in East Timor, being able to give rice to more than I don't know how many hundreds of those that are without food there. So the same situation here in the Philippines. So this food distribution, being the most critical, included such things as rice, sausage. Rice, of course, is the main staple of the. Uh, Actually, if people just have rice, what they do is they at least take a little bit of salt and put over the rice, if that's all they have, and they call that their dinner. But we supply rice to them, sausages, noodles, vitamins, canned meat, along with various other food items. And also in some locations we're able to include personal items and also shoes to give out, because one of the things, if you can imagine walking on the dry, hot ground in bare feet. So we also include shoes in the program. So this is the main program that we've been able to implement. Another parish program that we have re-emphasized and again tried to restart is that of parish gardens. Parish gardens, so that each parish, and encouraging each family in a parish to start their own garden. In the past, we have, as the Department of Charity, has supplied the seeds and some training and know-how of what to do with them. Those seeds that grow the best in sometimes in rainy conditions and sometimes in drought conditions. And so that's another program that has been implemented. Of course, we're always looking for programs that can be of a benefit long term. We call these programs livelihood programs. And so any suggestions and your prayers are welcome for the people here in the Philippines for livelihood programs to take place. So let's go on to the second question that we have here, and that is number 2, what are the main difficulties in this work? So here in Luzon, that's the upper part of the Philippines, we had our programs going 5 to 6 times, maybe sometimes even 7 times a week. And so that has, of course, had to be stopped because of the quarantine and the governmental restrictions down to the district and neighborhood level for travel and going out and protection. So we've had to cut down and only be able to do major food distribution programs in selected areas instead of being able to continue our feeding and our programs, our hygiene programs, our first aid programs, our medical programs, our spiritual programs. All of these have been curtailed at this time. Of course, here at the parish in Tagaytay, where Department of Charity is located, it's called Christ the Savior Parish. We have continued our divine liturgies and vespers and so forth every single week during the pandemic. But in order to do the major food distribution, another problem, difficulty that we had, we needed to get permits from the government. We needed to get travel passes so that our team could go to the places where they are more desperate and in need. So permits, travel passes, health certificates. Plus, you can imagine the danger actually of our parish members, our team members, of going out to unprotected locations where the poor are. So that's number two, our main difficulties. And also in not being able to reach some people that have been cut off. Every week we were bringing food to what's called the abandoned old people's home. They're the seniors, the elderly who have no relatives or relatives who have abandoned them, and they are in homes called abandoned old people homes because they have been abandoned by everyone else. So weekly we took them food, we did programs for them, we prayed with them, but this is another difficulty because they are strict quarantine. We have not been able to contact them since they are in our prayers. And so that question number 3, how different is it working during the times of pandemic and working from other times? So when it's possible to do major food distribution, even though there are difficulties, getting all the permits and the passes and the permissions and the paperwork, as well as going to unprotected areas, we just do whatever is necessary to get it done. So that is one difference. Even though it's difficult, we just try to press in and get it done, no matter what. And now one of the differences is that because we aren't able to go all the time out to help and bring aid to those in need, we have a program that invites those that are without to try to come to us. And now every day we have children with their parents, with their moms, with their dads, with their grandmas, coming here to Christ the Savior Parish, the Department of Charity and Social Services, coming here to the center. And every day we are so happy, we're so glad to see them and be able to give to them food and vitamins and find out how they are. And so this is one of the things we've added this. It's called walk-in program, where the poor can come to us at this time during the quarantine to get necessary food so that they don't go hungry at night. And one last thing, how it's different, because especially in Mindanao, we had 11 children's feeding centers. In the children's feeding centers, we also include the new moms. We included the elderly. And so this program was going until the time of the pandemic, and then it completely stopped. So now we're trying to restart our regular feeding programs again, which are centered specifically in each parish, And so these programs, we're praying now. We've just been able to get them a little bit restarted again, but they're asking for more. And lastly, one of the things that is different is that we've got to start the program, the parish garden program, so that we can, to the best of our ability, to become self-sufficient in growing vegetables. Here at the headquarters of Department of Charity, we have a garden which we've had for a long time, like a community garden, and we use the vegetables to for the feeding times for the children and the elderly, where we when we're able to do it 5 to 6 times a week, we were able to go out to them, and now they're having to come in. But those vegetables in each parish can be used for the feeding programs that we desire to restart, especially in the Mindanao area. But we're thankful to the headquarters for our Diocese of Philippines and Vietnam. We're thankful to Metropolitan Pavel and his great team there that work and can make connection with us. We're thankful for the secretary of the diocese, that Father Cornelius, who is down in Mindanao. We're thankful for Father Alexi, who is in Manila, who have been so strictly quarantined, but still we have pictures of him feeding the children in last Sunday's liturgy. And we're able, not only in our own diocese, to help, but we're able to, during this time of pandemic, help other Orthodox churches, the Antiochian churches, and other locations, even outside of our diocese in East Timor. So these are things that your Department of Charity and Social Services here in the Philippines has been actively involved in during the pandemic. We thank you for connecting with us and watching, and hope to hear more from you and all that is happening in your area of the world. To all of our brothers and sisters, we love you. We send our greetings and love from all of the parishes in the Philippines and Vietnam. God bless you all. Bye-bye.